Happy holidays. Merry Christmas to everyone in the viewing audience. Well, earlier um, in the evening, Saturday evening, Seth Rogers went live with Tony Mathis, had a few guests on panel. Basically, he was speaking about not having his son here, hoping his son could contact him if he could get to safety to call him. He also spoke about, negativity, not indulging in the negativity, not responding to it, which I agree. I don't recommend responding to the negativity at this point. It's a moot point. I watched a few minutes of the stream, and it's not up for viewing at the moment. Possibly he put it on private or membership only. I'm not sure. It is sad because this is the season for celebrating, gathering with friends, family, going to Christmas parties, others, people you care about. And sadly, Rogers is minus one person, and that is his son, Sebastian. And it's a horrific situation. Not having any answers. Hello, Sky. Merry Christmas. Not having the answers to where his son is. And as I said before, he's entitled to feel however he wants to feel about this, the disappearance of his child. If he believes that his child is alive and somewhere out here, he is entitled to his opinion. But nonetheless, the child is not visible to him and to others. And it is just it has to be a devastating place to be. I can't imagine the shoes that he is in. His mom, dad, relatives, whomever, people who actually care about the child. It has to be a terrible place to be wondering so many months, where is the child? We're coming out of December 2024 in just a short bit. It will be the new year. God willing, we all wake up January 1st, 2025. Wednesday will be Christmas. And this man has no idea where his child is. Hasn't heard from his child. Not a phone call, a letter, a text, a note, nothing. As I said, I can't imagine. What do you do? It is hard to understand how we're even at this point, at this juncture. December 22nd. It's even hard just saying it. December 22nd, 2024. A little young boy, rather, not a small child. Turned 16 this month. Nowhere to be found. How terrible is that? Turned 16 in the month of December. Christmas is in December. And nobody has any idea. Of course, I'm assuming someone knows where he is. Because there's always somebody that knows. His only child. And sometimes I wonder about that. The state of his mind, had he had more children, probably could help ease the pain if he had more children, Seth Rogers. But then we've heard those stories of people who have other children. When they have a missing child, they get lost into the abyss of the one child missing, and they lose their way, and they can't focus on the relationship, spouse, or other children, friends, and family because they're mourning that one child. And God forbid that child comes up deceased. They are lost. They're at a loss. And we have seen people who grieve, they grieve hard, when it's imminent. And they don't return from it. Some people don't. Sometimes it takes some people a while to snap back into reality, get back into the flow of living, enjoying life, laughing, enjoying other people's company. So I also wonder that about Seth. Does he go places, talk to other people? Does he find some type of joy in dealing with other people? Probably not much. Mercy, mercy. How is everyone this evening? Or this early morning, rather. It's after 12 Eastern Standard Time. I just wanted to join, come on for a little bit and reflect how fast this year has gone by. It just seems like it was yesterday. We were going, we were in a new year. And it was spring, then it was summer, then it was fall. But that's what happens. Each month begets another month. And before you know it, you're planning for something else. You're planning for rain. You're planning for flowers. You're planning for something. Leaves falling. You're planning for cold weather. Then it's snow. And then it's spring. And now we are vastly coming out of 2024. And no new updates pertaining to this young boy. I was thinking about this tonight while I was, watching the game. Sadly, Tennessee lost. University of Tennessee lost. No bowl for us this year. I was thinking to myself, maybe law enforcement have something. Because I was reflecting back to cases that where there was an indictment that was brought forward, and we learned more when the indictment was revealed. So sometimes you think there's nothing, and you think it's nothing because law enforcement was quiet. They never told you anything. They didn't give you a hint to anything. So for months, maybe a year, maybe even more, depending on how long it takes, you thought there was nothing. You thought, this case is never going to be solved. They don't, no matter what your opinions were of the storyline or the people in the story, some cases, an indictment came along and you got more out of the story, the hypotheses, the hype. And you thought, dang, didn't know that. Of course. Because you weren't supposed to know. And perhaps that is the situation here. That we have been left in the dark by law enforcement because obviously it's still an open investigation. And they do have more and they do know more, but they need that one thing to bring forward an indictment. If possible, that's where it's going. I'm not saying it is, just saying possibility. That sometimes you lose hope because you don't know anything. And we've seen this a lot in missing persons cases and also crimes of people being unalived. You thought they didn't have anything just because they're not speaking, they're not talking to the public. But that's the way it goes. They're not supposed to tell us anything. They choose how they want to navigate law enforcement, government agencies, and what they want to reveal to the public, because each case is different, depending on the type of crime it is, if indeed they believe it is a crime. So they give out what they want when they want. So is this the case with Sebastian Rogers? I don't know. Don't know if it's criminal. Don't know if they don't have anything. That they're actually telling the truth. We don't have anything. We don't know anything. We suspect something, but we don't have all the answers, part of the answers. So let's ask that question. Do they suspect someone in this crime, or this situation rather? Do they believe the child is alive? Because I believe the father has hope or believes the child is alive. You're entitled to your opinion. But what does law enforcement believe? That's who I'm curious about. What do they believe happened to this child? What do they believe? What do they have? Do they have anything? Because it would be nice to tell the public something. But as I said before, this happens when you have an open investigation. They will not reveal anything. And thus far, we've heard nothing. In the past, oh my goodness, several months, we don't have anything. A lot of hype, a lot of assumptions. And in the end, it's not good enough because anybody can think what they want about a story. You can assume what you want from what someone decides to tell and show. But what is the truth? Hello, Jackie. Happy holidays. Crackling fire, stockings on the fireplace. Many people will be celebrating Christmas next week, or their form of a Christmas, depending on their religion, ideology. Some will not. But sadly, in we'll say East Tennessee, Middle Tennessee rather, a man won't be celebrating Christmas. A happy Christmas, that is, because his son is missing. And as I've told you all before in covering this case, talking about the case rather, there are still people here in my region that don't know that Sebastian is missing. The videos I had uploaded a week ago when I was out at the little country bar I was in, I erased those videos because I just didn't want to play them for my own reasons. But while I was in there, I talked to a young man who is a UT student, and he didn't know anything about the case. I talked to another young lady. She happened to be a UT student. Nobody knows about the case. And they live right here in East Tennessee. We're only a few hours away from Middle Tennessee. Hendersonville, outside of Nashville, general area. And that's the point I've been trying to make to people pertaining to true crime in general. That there are people who live in the same state and they have no idea about a missing person, a person unalived, an accident. They have no idea. And although this story has made national news, it's been all over social media, people in the same state have no idea that this child is missing. I find that baffling. And I'm like, you don't watch the news? You're not on social media? I know you're on social media because most young people are on social media. You never heard of this story? No, never heard of it. Remember when I went in Walmart back in the summer? I talked to what? 7 to 8 people. And only one girl had heard of the story. That was a girl that was working in the dressing room area in the women's department. 1 out of 7, 1 out of 8 people in the Walmart had not heard of Sebastian Rogers. And they lived right in Tennessee, Knoxville, Tennessee. And naturally, we get Nashville news. So anything pertaining to Nashville, outside of Nashville, we're going to get an update. Amber Alert, we're going to get that Amber Alert. And yet these people had not heard of this young boy. I have talked to other people. They have not heard of Sebastian Rogers. And I have spoken to Caucasian people. And that's even more baffling. That Caucasian people don't know that another Caucasian boy is missing in their state. And this is just the same as it was with Summer Wells. Where she live? Never heard of the story. And I'd say, what? You haven't heard of the story? What do you mean? Our news shows that the little girl's missing. It's just up the highway. Hour or so up the highway. What do you say? 2 hours or so, about an hour, 50 minutes, I think. Rogersville is from Knoxville. No, never heard of her. Never heard of the story. No, never heard anything about her parents. I don't know what you're talking about. Wow, Queen. That's how sad it is. And people get irritated naturally when they're related to someone who's missing. And they feel like they're not getting enough coverage of their missing relative. I get that. We see that a lot in the African American community. There's so many African American people who are missing, and they don't get to play by play. They don't get to play at all. Nobody even knows they're missing. People missing right now in this town. They're older than Sebastian. They are men. And we haven't heard anything from local officials about their disappearance. It's baffling. Nothing. And naturally, Sebastian has gotten more airtime as being a child. Somebody said, well, it's because his race. But still no answers. So it's still sad either way. No matter the race, he's a child. And we don't have any information. But as I said, I believe somebody knows. Somebody has a idea where he can be found. Santa will be coming to town soon, trying to squeeze his belly down chimneys, many homes, of presents to those kids who have been so good this year. Well deserving of their Christmas list. Santa will be riding all around the United States and abroad trying to drop off these packages to these good little boys and girls, even some adults. But no presents this year for Sebastian Rogers. So sad. Little boy didn't get his Christmas wish this season. Didn't get to enjoy spring, summer, fall, winter. Wow. Where is Sebastian Rogers? Is he somewhere where he can see and hear? And if so, why is he there? Why would someone want to hide this child, leave him somewhere to be taken care of? Naturally, you'd have to pay someone. Just saying. What is the motive? And it seems that the father wants to believe that, that his child is alive, like I said. But as I said, you have to also ask, what is the motivation? And how long would this go on? Hiding of a child. An older child at that. Wow. Hello, Jackie. How peaceful the sound. Crackling fireplace. Still of the night. And that's usually when terrible things happen, is it not? Still of the night. peaceful, quiet, dark, no sound, no movements. But it is also the time of mischief, when people exact horrible crimes. And allegedly a boy child went missing February 25th or 26th of 2024. We have no idea what is the truth of those dates. Just that poof, voila, he was missing from his room, Hendersonville, Tennessee. Some of you don't believe those allegations, assertions, notions, version rather. The point is, who's going to tell it? Tell us the truth about the time and the date. And when is this madness going to end? When is Seth Rogers going to get answers about his child? Will he get answers from law enforcement about what they have? I think at this point, coming up almost a year, somebody should call the man and say something to him. This is what we have so far. This is what we're working on. Do you have any questions or anything you'd like to add? Why not? He is the father. I don't mention the other side because it's a moot point. So I'll speak on behalf of Seth, rather. Well, about Seth, excuse me. Sir, this is what we have pertaining to evidentiary material. This is what we're working on. Or just affirm we are diligently working to solve your child's disappearance. We cannot tell you all the ins and outs of what we have and don't have, but we want you to know from TBI and the Sheriff's Department that we are vehemently working to solve this crime. I'm glad to believe he is broken, as he would be. The thing is, why isn't someone else visibly broken, appearing broken? That's your child. You're supposed to be broken. You're not supposed to be out celebrating. And I get it. You got to get up at some point, put your clothes on, wash your face, go to a job, pay bills, because everybody can't live for free. But show that you care. You have empathy for your child. It's the bottom line. Show that you care. And that's the one thing that people don't seem to understand about breathing. What you put out into the universe is on you. So you can't get angry at what you put out into the universe. That's on you. So you don't like what's being said, then change it. If it's negative, it's coming from you, then change it. But what did Dr. Phil always say? You can't change what you don't acknowledge. Have mercy. Say it again, Quay. You can't change what you don't acknowledge. So if you don't acknowledge that you have done something wrong, you're appearing negatively. You're putting out negative energy into the universe, then you don't feel the need to change. And that's been obvious also in this case. I walk around like I don't care because I don't. That's my assertion of what I've seen. I don't have to care because I don't. That's Queen's assertion. How else am I to reconcile the behavior? You don't care. And that's on you. But it is sad to know this child was close to becoming an adult in a few years. Don't know what his life was going to be like. The journey, decision making. But it seems to have come to a halt late February 2024 for some reason. And now a father is mourning his son. And I'm sure he feels left out in the cold by law enforcement and the other people who have decided not to take an interest in their own child. But he need not fret. Because as I've told you before, God got it. He is Alpha and Omega. And he has control of this situation, as bleak as it appears and seems to many of us. God got it. What is the old saying? Old black folks saying, he may not come when you want him, but he's always on time. Sebastian Rogers, that's what you need to understand about what has happened to your child, that God got it. And that he may not come when you want him, but he's always on time. And that one day you will get the answers or some form of an answer to the disappearance of your child. You may not like the answer or the form that it comes in, but it'll be an answer. And that's what we have to remember about this case. We may not get the answers today or tomorrow, but one day we will get something. And we will just have to accept what it is and pray that God will guide the journey to the truth. And nothing more and nothing less. Yeah, I'm not trying to go deep into that because it would be unbefitting with the crackling fireplace and Christmas trees, Meganell. So if I don't entertain it, then they won't entertain it and reciprocate. You always have to think about the message. So I try not to go into the beast because we've had enough of that. There's a time and a place for everything. This is not the time. But I do feel sad for this man, his family. How terrible it must be to not have any gifts to purchase for his child. Now, some people, when their children are missing, and the worst case scenario, they still buy gifts for their loved ones, children. I don't know if he and family will buy gifts for the child anyway, in hopes that one day that he will retrieve them. So that is their choice. Receive them, rather. But as I say, everyone does things differently. He sent the message to his child, contact me if you can. I have the same number. If you get to a phone, call me. It's a terrible thing to even have to say. Call me if you can. If you can get to a phone, you know the number. Lord have mercy. Some may have mocked that commentary by Seth. I thought about that tonight as well. Mocked his words. And I won't go into that. Is everyone ready for Christmas? Have you all done all your shopping? I'll probably go live tomorrow to talk about that. Ask you all about Christmas. Have you bought everything you need? Gotten everything you need? Take the polls on my community page pertaining to Christmas shopping. Do you have the money to shop this Christmas? Are you in the Christmas spirit? Are you going to continue to buy gifts next year? Are you going to stop celebrating Christmas? Is there somebody you're not going to buy Christmas gifts for this year that you had been buying Christmas gifts for? You're not in the Christmas spirit, Jackie? What's the problem? Okay, great. Yes, this is the season for being cheerful, joyful. Many people are not. A lot of people get depressed, even suicidal around the holidays, depending on their situation and circumstances, lifestyle. Some people don't have a lot of friends, family. So hell, every day is gloomy. And that's what we need to understand about life. That it's not just Christmas that people are not feeling well, not themselves. Some people are gloomy throughout the year, don't have a substantial family unit. So we need to pray for those people who don't have a lot of friends and people to depend on, people to call their phone and check on them. Say, hey, how are you doing? We have a lot of people who live this way. They're elderly, they're mentally disabled, handicapped. They don't have family. A lot of people are homeless. Maybe finally they get a place, but they don't have a family unit, depending on how they were raised or situations with their family. Many people don't speak to each other that are related to one another, which is very sad, but that's the point. Everyone has his or her own story and journey. We'll pray for those who won't be going to someone's house to eat. No one will be bringing them a plate. No one is inviting them out to come over for dinner, if it's just to go out to dinner. Everyone is not in the same predicament. A lot of people will be alone Christmas, as they were Thanksgiving, as they were 3-4 months ago, when there was no Thanksgiving, Christmas. That's what everyone needs to understand. Everyone does not live the same. Everyone does not have people in their corner cheering for them, rooting for them, calling them, asking them if they need anything. That's something everyone needs to focus on. The have-nots. Because really every day should be a holiday. I like to think of every day as a holiday myself. I'd like to say, I'd like to treat myself when there is no Christmas birthday. I'd like to do something nice for myself every day, which I do. That's my thought process. Every day is Christmas. And that's how we need to view life. Also giving and not just receiving. Give if you can afford to give. And as they say, don't give what you can stand to lose. What you can't stand to lose, excuse me. Just a simple phone call is nice. A little note in the door, mailbox. Just a little box of candy. If you can't afford anything for someone, acquaintance, someone you like, bus driver, somebody at your job, neighbor across the street, the person that works at the grocery store that you bump into once a week. There's nothing wrong with just a simple gift. We know that elderly people love candy. Box of chocolates, not that much money. Put in a little gift bag, simple little note. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. I was thinking of you. Blessings. There's nothing wrong with doing something nice for somebody. And that's what we should focus on. All 365 days of the year. Not just Christmas, not just Thanksgiving. When Jesus was born, the people brought gifts to the kings. They heard a king was born. I'm assuming that's part of where we get the gift giving and receiving of gifts. The gifts were brought to the king. Some people say we've lost touch with what Christmas is all about. It's supposed to be about being, once again, grateful, humble, gathering, celebration of Jesus' birth. But that's the whole point. Different times, different ideologies, different perspectives. I'll come back later, maybe tomorrow, or later today rather, because it's Sunday. Talk about Christmas and what you all expect on Wednesday, what you're not expecting, what you hope to get, what you spent, what you're not going to spend. How has it been for you this year, this holiday season? Happy, sad, depressed, worse, gleeful? What are you thankful for? Are you glad it's almost over? Some people are probably glad, especially those with children. I'm sure they are. Parents are like, woo, glad when this is over with. I'll be doing the usual. Enjoying myself, my own company, peacefulness, quietness. Since a few places, one place is going to be closed the holiday season, I won't resume my going out activities until what? Probably February. Don't know if I'm going to go out for New Year's Eve. I haven't planned on it. I haven't decided if I'm going to do that or not. But anyway, just wanted to touch base with you all that Seth Rogers went live a few hours ago talking about his son and what the season means to him and what it's not without having access to his child. Oh, that's wonderful. Yeah, it's nothing like getting something nice, isn't it? Especially in the mail from somebody. That's my thing. It's always nice to be thought of. I say that all the time on this network. That's all most people want, is to know that they were thought about. Doesn't have to be anything grand, you know. Oh yeah, most of us wouldn't mind, a Maybach in the driveway. Let's not get it misunderstood. But just a simple phone call, simple notes, a nice gesture in the mail, presents, gift card, gift certificate, presents, never hurt. Yes. Merry Christmas, Seth Rogers. And to you and your parents, family, immediate family. May not be the best Christmas, but prayers and blessings to you all. And prayers and blessings to all of you in the viewing audience. I pray that you get what you want this Christmas season. And if not, maybe you'll get it after Christmas. Just a heads up before I check out of here. BitLocks is closing their stores. Some of them, they said, and I think, it's going to be a blow to surrounding areas where I live, because I know people who love BitLocks. Get off the subject here, but just for some of you who do shop at the store, and you plan on shopping next week and thereafter, I'll go ahead and tell you items are 25% off here in this general area at the moment. So in case you want to spend some money after Christmas, you want to go in Big Lots, you're a Big Lots shopper, you might want to start stocking up on some things out of there and get some things. And if you didn't have enough money Christmas, you might be able to buy something for someone or yourself after Christmas, since the stores will be closing. Thank you, sweetheart. Thank you, Miss Smith. Oh, candles. Yeah, candles are nice. Candles are nice. No one can say they don't need candles. Nothing like something that smells good. Nothing like smell goods in your home. Most definitely. I do. As most of you know, Queen, she has to have something smelling good. Air freshener, incense, that's just Queen. And candles, if I get them, Lord, I can't buy the expensive ones because they'll just be a waste of money, because they'll be burned down in a day. Because I'll just let it burn all day. Which I know you should do that, but I like the rooms to smell good. That's something I get a jolt out of, is opening the door when I'm coming in from the outside and I can smell the apartment. That's just like a rush to me to be like, oh, it smells so good in here. Nothing like a freshly smelled home, that's for sure. Most definitely. Seth Rogers, you are in my thoughts and prayers. God bless you. May he keep you and hold you. Thank you for getting on live last night to express your feelings pertaining to your son. I pray that you get some answers soon from Ellie. I pray that the truth is revealed, or some sort of a truth pertaining to the disappearance of Sebastian. Pray for him. He needs our prayers. And as he said in the live stream, pray for all missing children. Thank you, sweetheart. Thank you, Megan Hills. Pray for all missing children and adults, because somebody is missing them as well. Somebody's wanting to talk to them. Somebody's wanting them to pick up the phone, answer the door, send a text back, but they won't. And that's a terrible place to be. And I think many of you know that feeling of trying to reach someone and you can't. Wanting to see that person and you can't. And they are alive. Have mercy. They are alive. And I can tell you, that's the worst feeling, is mourning the living. Woo! Shut your mouth. Mourning the living. That's why I tell you, you have to know your worth. Know your worth. Because that's something none of us should have to do, is mourn the living. Accept things as they are. It's not going to be, just keep it moving. God will put somebody else in your path so you don't have to mourn the living. And every day is a blessing to be alive, to be favored by God, to wake you up because somebody didn't get up this Sunday morning. They're not going to get up this Sunday morning. Somebody's not going to see Christmas. I'm going to say this on the live stream. Go ahead and say this, because it was something on my mind the past couple of days. Oh, Lordy. A young man here in Knoxville passed away last week in a fiery crash. He was exiting off a Hall of Fame drive, lost control of his car and wrecked. And he was trapped inside of that car. The police tried to break out the windows with fire extinguishers to get Mr. Boatwright out, but could not. The fire had encompassed the car, and he died on the scene. Now, when I went to his Facebook page, I just went to look because I saw the name finally when they released the name, and I said, "Oh Lord, please tell me it's not this young man. I just saw him a few weeks ago out. He was standing behind me, and he was telling me who he was, and I was like, oh yeah, I remember you from a long time ago. I haven't seen you in a while." So then I went to another little bar, and I remember he was in there with another young lady. So that's been about a month. I last saw him, a couple weeks to a month, 2 different places. So my spirit was bothering me yesterday to go back to his Facebook page, not Saturday, but Friday. And I kept saying, are they sure this guy's deceased? And I know some of you are going to say, Queen, where are you going with this? Just bear with me. Oh, Lord. I went back to the Facebook page to make sure it was the right person that I thought was deceased. So I re-looked at the article, went through Google. It gave the name. I re-looked him up on Facebook. I looked at his page. He's got like 3 different Facebook pages. I said, yeah, this is him. This is him. Thank you, sweetheart. Thank you. Thank you, Perspective. Hello, sweetheart. I said, yeah, this is him. He's the one they said passed away in the car crash. But why I'm telling you this, why I went back looking for his Facebook page and re-looking at the article that he passed away, is because when I went out Wednesday night and I was sitting at the bar, I thought I saw him walk in the damn place. Stay woke now. The person had on a tan shirt, tan pants or something. I just remember the shirt was tan. The person was fuller. And I said to myself, side view, because it's like the person walked where I was sitting in the bar. I could see when people are coming in or getting ready to come closer around this big table that's closest to the bar area. And the person hadn't quite made it to the table, but then what they did was they turned around, like maybe somebody said something to them, or they decided to just go back out into the restroom. And I kept saying, oh my gosh. I said, wait a minute. I thought they said that guy was deceased. So I don't know. I was seeing, like the side profile of a black man. But in my spirit was telling me that it was him. That's why I went back Friday and re-looked at his photographs to verify the Facebook pages with the name that's in the article of the decedent. And I said, God, please tell me that I'm seeing things, that I made a mistake, because I thought I saw him walk in, but he turned around. You take that as you will. Take it the Queen made a mistake. Somebody favored him. Or he came back in one last time. But I know that when something bothers me, I always go back and try to re-look things up. And I know it's got to be something to that. Because why would I go back into Google to reread the article to make sure I had the name right? Because something bothered me about that guy I saw that night, Wednesday night. He walked up to the table, and then he turned around and walked back out, or out of sight rather. And this is the spookier part of the story. The person never came back anywhere near the bar to order a drink. Stay woke. Did I misidentify someone who favored him or had a side profile that favored him? Lord have mercy. Sometimes you bump into people who favor other people you know. You see people on TV, pictures, profiles, they favor somebody you know. They look like somebody you know or know. But I know Wednesday night, I could have sworn that guy walked in that damn place. I just pray for my own sanity That was somebody else. And I made a mistake. If you get my drift. Blessings to all of you. Happy holiday season. Happy New Year to the viewing audience as well. May God keep you and hold you. May you all have a prosperous new year, abundance of joy. And if you're not happy and joyful, may you become happy and joyful and find some peace of mind and know that sorrow doesn't last always. For joy, joy cometh in the morning. Amen. Thank you for listening to this content. You have been listening to the Vault Excel. Merry Christmas, Seth Rogers. Merry Christmas.